Hello. Good evening. How is everyone today? I don't know where Dom is at the moment. I'm hoping he's going to come and join me shortly. Um, but hopefully you can all hear me. Just getting a couple of things set. There we go. Good evening. Who have we got lurking in chat at the moment? So, Orkster is... Oh, I'm getting some weird cutout here. Just going to make sure my video stays up. We okay there? I think we're all right. Hi, Orkster. Hello, Vicky, who I know is sitting in the other room. And hello, Andy and Rules Lawyer. Thank you very much for popping along. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, or 3 weeks, I think, since we did a live stream. It's been a pretty hectic week for both me and Dom. We actually went camping a couple of weeks ago as well, and then had a couple of little emergent things that's prevented us from streaming last couple of weeks, but hopefully we'll get back to some consistency, but we shall see. Now, how is everyone's challenge entries going? I can see Orkster has said he's hopefully heading to the hobby desk shortly to catch up with the challenge entry. Anyone else in here participating? I am currently working on some sisters battle. Here we go. Oh, that's not going to help. You can't see that. How about, there we go. Some sisters repentia. So hopefully going to do a little bit more of them tonight and get a couple of bits off my desk, because it's been like I said, it's been a pretty broken couple of weeks. I've had a lot of work on and various other things going on around, so just been trying to keep on top of it all. Got to find the right one here. There we go. Looking for the right red. Need some Evil Sun Scarlet. Oh, I think that's Dom now, actually, so I better split the screen up. He did make it, you see.
Hello. Sorry, Discord was being terribly rubbish.
Oh.
But I am here.
Well done. You made it.
Thank you very much. I'm rather proud of myself, to be honest.
You didn't even call me.
No, full IT support. I'll sort it out myself. It's fine. How's it going, Thomas?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well indeed. Yes, so I don't know if you've gone through what you're painting, Tom.
I did. I'm doing some Sisters of Battle. Some Sisters of Battle.
Oh.
I'm carrying with my Sisters
nice.
Repentia. And what about yourself?
I'm doing some World Eaters, I think, tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need to catch up on them a little bit.
I do need to catch up on them a bit. So I'm going to do a little bit on my the gold trim on these guys.
Oh, there's no gold trim on bodies. What are you on about? You're not painting bodies.
Barely any. Not even worth mentioning, to be honest.
And a few in chat. We got Orcs is working on his challenge entry. Andy Ashby's doing some Sisters Silence, and Rules Liar says he's fortunate at the moment. His work in progress is a bit disjointed. Some 40k and some heresy. Now, whether that's painting Horus heresy or the fact that it's just heresy, nice. I don't know.
Yeah, just heresy's not doing any, because it is really heresy. There should be some hobby.
But yeah, so I thought I'd better crack on with the sisters. It's part of the Combat Patrol box set I need to get done.
Nice. Indeed, you
Challenge
do.
2 reluctant allies. Actually, I think it was not reluctant allies. It was kind of allies that would be good together, I think is what we said. So opposite what you said there. Don't do reluctant allies. And yeah. Well, me and Dom had a game of 40k the other day.
We did have a game of 40k. It was slightly wonky, but we got there in the end, didn't
we? Yes. I'm hoping to have a video up. I've been just trying to get time to edit it all up because we did attempt to do a bit of record. It's probably not our best work, but but it'll be a video all the same. So sometimes you've got to celebrate the little things.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. I mean, it could have gone a bit smoother, Tom. To be honest, I think we both agree on that one.
Yeah,
there. It was.
So we were. I think we were a little bit out of practice because it's been a long time since we've just done an actual filmed battle report. I think we were both talking about this.
Yeah.
You kind of get out of that practice of all your normal sayings and routine and all that kind of stuff, and so. But we played Black Templars versus Necrons.
We did indeed. Yeah, and I'm not going to put any spoilers, but it was an interesting game because I think your list was kind of more what you're thinking you're taking in the future for a tournament.
Yes.
And mine was like, I quite like the look of this because they all have similar weapons. Let's go with that. And yeah, that was interesting.
So rules listing. I suppose I could enter 40k Black Legion and 30k Dark Angels and call them 40k. You could do that. There we go. That is a nice little theme. Everyone loves the Fallen.
They do. Well, that's not looking too shabby, actually. That's quite cool. Right. Well done, me. That's good. That's a good paint scheme. I'm going to continue with that and then just paint all these guys. And then at the end of it, go, actually, that was really bad. And I should not have done it.
I'm sure that won't be that bad. Also saying, how are you finding 10th edition? I like how simple it is, but I feel railroaded in some ways. I think that's a fair assessment. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it's hard to judge it fully until the codexes have been released. I like the premise of 10th edition because it's much easier to get a game in to sort of just go, let's do this, and you don't have to faff about as much, especially book-wise and stuff like that. I think we said that at the beginning of every new edition, though, because everything kind of it's like the slate kind of gets wiped clean for a few months while everything starts to ramp up again. So I'd say yeah, you're kind of right in some ways, and in other ways, I think it's got sometimes you do feel like I suppose options wise there's not a huge amount of options at the moment, but I think that's purely down to what's available being the issue rather than necessarily the game.
Yeah, I think it's just refreshing at this point.
Yeah,
to have something that's easy to play and that you can do these weird wonky kind of suggestions and kind of go, actually, what if Fulgrim was fighting alongside not Fulgrim, Lucius was fighting alongside Abaddon or something like that, and just go, oh cool, we don't have to worry about silly little rules like that, we just chuck them together.
And alliance of convenience for the time being.
For some reason my chair keeps rotating to the left, so I'm slowly like, I'm not trying to model or anything, I'm just like this. Look.
I think it's your models teaching you lessons. Like, you put me on a rotating thing, I'm going to show you what it feels like to rotate around in front of a camera.
I've got word bearers behind me who are probably quite envious that I'm painting World Eaters at the moment.
Andy said, I don't think options are the problem. You can run your armies with very little limitations. Games of fun that's important. Feels lost the fun of playing around with the battle scribe, theorizing lists which were. Okay, yeah, I think you both do have valid points, and I think Andy, maybe I didn't convey myself perfectly right. I think as a Black Templar player, it's a very, I suppose, a very focused set of, I suppose, stratagems and a very set and all this. It's just getting used to that. I think it's weird because I think I do prefer it. But you kind of look at going, oh, that's not a lot of stuff. But actually, it's not a bad thing, I suppose, because you're not having to sort of scrape around wanting to know all of your abilities and things like that. Obviously, I know I can use Space Marine parts as well. And I don't know, rules are. I think games can be more thematic at the moment. I think, yeah.
Give it a bit of a go. Just test things out.
I don't miss Battlescribe there, I'm afraid, my
We're
friend.
still in the early days.
I really don't miss Battlescribe. I am very sold on the 40k app at the moment, mainly because they finally married together the list building and the displaying of the army rules in an effective manner. Just knowing that I've built a list and I can click in the top right and get the full stat profile for that data sheet is so much nicer than having to load up what Battlescribe's equivalent was, in my opinion. That is. I don't know how you feel about it, Dom.
I am not missing Battlescribe in the slightest, to be honest. Well done, Battlescribe. You helped us through hard times when the GW app was terrible and when we didn't want to use pen and paper anymore. However, you can retire yourself and get yourself a nice little cottage somewhere and just relax, because GW have got this now. Because that app, I love it. I love it to bits. Quite happily, just like it's smoother than Battlescribe was, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Very few bugs that I've noticed, and I'm kind of fiddling around a list quite a bit. And yeah, you're right. I think the abilities and the leader stuff, I think, works really nicely.
I haven't decided on model yet. Probably the Carskin.
Yeah.
Mainly because I have no use for AOS models. I mean, I don't really have use for the Carskin either, really, I suppose. I just prefer 40k models at the moment. That's my personal preference.
Yeah, the Stormtrooper's cool.
I know Dom's going to get the Stormtrooper. I mean, you've got Stormtroopers that you can probably add it to as a little leader.
Well, yes and no.
No. Come on.
My Militarum Tempestus are not Carskins.
Okay.
But I quite like the Carskin model. I think they're awesome models. So I probably will get some at some point if I was to go back into my guard. But I've got to feel motivated to go back into my guard, which I don't really at the moment. We'll wait and see what happens when the Codex comes out. I might feel like, oh my goodness, they're amazing.
And yes, I'd already signed up for the for Warhammer Plus, but now the app makes it worth that monthly payment, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, I know I'm probably going to have to end up buying the Codex to unlock things again, just like in the old ways, I suspect, because they're not going to give the whole lot for free, I suspect.
No.
But obviously, with the Tyrannus Codex was announced. That's just around the corner.
Yeah, it had a bit of a preview of some of their rules.
Yeah, and I suspect the Space Marine one will be around the next corner.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in a couple of years' time, the Chaos Space Marine one will drop, and we'll all be happy.
Just in time for 11th edition.
Yeah. Here we go. I know Space Marines have now had 3 wounds for a couple of years. You guys have had 2.
Oh, don't reopen old wounds, Dom. You see what I did there?
I mean, I'm really enjoying playing Chaos Space Marines in 10th so far. They're a very enjoyable faction.
Yeah, I've yet to play a Chaos Space Marine game. I'm trying to stick with the Templars a little bit more focused at the moment because I want to make sure I understand how to play them. I'm starting to get the hang of various kind of synergies, I think. But actually, you can see behind me, I have my Templars are laid out at the moment in my new list that I am doing, which is I'm quite excited about trying out. So I'm going to have another game at some point because myself and Dom were in a little. We're going to a team tournament in October.
Yes.
5-player teams in kind of I suppose a rock scissors paper defender attacker style thing.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, Tom, I'm just going to put this disclaimer out there that I don't think we should go through what factions we're taking. Obviously, you're taking Templars because there might be people in this chat that are on the opposing team.
I mean,
I would almost put money on it that they're either watching it live or they'll rewatch
but
it.
it could
Let's
just
not
be
give
a
them any
ruse.
heads up at this point.
It could be a ruse.
Tom, won't be a ruse.
I've only mentioned me.
I know. Well, they're a devious lot. Some of these other teams.
I mean, yeah, I think people are going to know eventually anyway, so I don't know.
They will when they're taking their models off the board, and we're like,
oh, son!
We didn't give you any heads up. No heads up at all. This is what happens. Yeah, we know who you are.
But I don't know if they're in here.
This chair's starting to annoy me.
Then why do you keep rotating? I don't understand.
I don't know why I keep rotating, Tom.
You're building on a slope all of a sudden.
Yeah. I think the badger or the fox underneath is like slowly
just digging,
tunneling
you out, undermining your foundations.
Exactly. Exactly that.
He's hearing it now. Oh, he's rotating. He's rotating. The plan's working.
Yeah. Fantastic, Mr. Fox or George Clooney's thing underneath my, with his little coffee machine.
Sorry. I actually quite like that new film. It's quite good. Right. That is some more red done. I need to do some tidy up on some skin parts because apparently these have a lot of skin.
Yep.
Always found these really
wimps.
odd. I suppose, yeah, just odd kind of models. Just the fact that they're basically nutters with eviscerators.
Yeah.
Just cool.
They are absolutely.
But in a world of armor, guns, and shooting, I do feel they've gone in a bit unprepared.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But they have to,
Any thoughts, predictions, hopes, or wish lists for the Nova Open previews? I don't know. I think. I don't know. I've kind of gone off that way of thinking about previews and stuff now. I just enjoy seeing what gets revealed. I don't really have many hopes for stuff that's going to get revealed because I inevitably will probably be very disappointed because you tend to think you're going to get something, but actually they come out with some very different stuff.
Oh yes! Oh, that's what we got.
I suspect it won't be Marines. Actually, I think they're going to showcase something else to get people sort of hooked on a long-term kind of thing.
You reckon?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well, I mean, the thing is, GW are working on so many properties at the moment. It's kind of like 40k is great and exciting. However, we've got teeny tiny epic coming out. We've got the old world stuff as well. It's kind of, yeah. I know you're not really into, you don't get as excited about the other previews. you're kind of. But I love just watching the random stuff come out, like the Blood Bowl stuff or the Necromunda. I'm like, oh, these are pretty cool models. So yeah, I just think the more they're going into different areas,
Yeah.
you see maybe that not as much focus on the 40k, and they'll move it onto other things, try and get other people
Yeah, I
into
said
other
I don't
systems.
think. I think 40k is going to be there, but I don't think it's going to be as big a focus as some of the other things they've got, I suppose, lined up.
Hmm.
Oh god, come on! I forgot how annoying it is to paint skin tones.
Well, Tom, you don't have to anymore because of contrast. You just need to
I
slap it on.
wondered how long it would take for you to bring that up.
Yeah, slap on the contrast. Here we go. Plus, also with the previews as well, like we're saying, they don't need to put that much into 40k anymore. Obviously, it's one of their big sellers. Great, they can keep going with that train. But if you got someone into 2 game systems, especially a brand new one, like an Epic one, for instance, or old world, where the models are not going to be particularly cheap, whoop-de-doo, happy days.
No, I agree with that. Looking forward to the Blood Bowl announcement. Other than a couple of star players, this will be the first release of the year. Ah.
There you go. I'm guessing that's Orkster. Is that Orkster?
It was Orkster, yes.
Yes.
Of course it was. He loves his Blood Bowl.
He loves Blood Bowl.
There we go. These are very odd models. I'm trying to work out whether it's a
I'm
face or
not a big
face mask.
fan of those models, to be honest.
No, I'm starting to dislike a little bit as well. I've got to do them because they're in the bloody box set. But they shall persevere.
Yep.
Because it would
See
be
where you
rude
get
not to. Oh, come on. Excuse me.
Bit of a frog in your throat, Tom.
A little bit. Still a lot better than I was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
We'll have to try and do a live stream game again soon, I think. It's been a little while since we've done one.
Indeed we should. Need to, try out some of our lists. Sometimes maybe a team list, maybe not a team list, but as we don't know, do we?
No. I mean, maybe we'll start doing some misdirection.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm really playing
Good
Night
thinking,
Lords,
Tom.
so
There you go. I'm sure there'll be lots of fun to play.
without any special rules or it's basically chaos.
Yep. Normal standard chaos.
The best faction.
He's the best faction. You're right.
Rules Liar. Blood Bowl has a really good bustling community scene. I went to a cool teen club at the local game shop before lockdown. There was a Blood Bowl club at the same time, always packed. Yeah, I've never really tried Blood Bowl, but the problem is I always end up seeming to get these games sometimes, never actually play them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've still got Adeptus Titanicus I need to do, but I actually do really want to do that. I'm really looking forward to sort of getting them done. But I did promise myself I would finish these other commitments first.
Get the big boy Titans out.
Well, the nice thing about that, obviously, if they do bring Epic back, I've got some starter stuff for that already. So
yeah, exactly. Happy days.
I say if, we know they are. Obviously, it's happening. Oh, no. It's got too much liquid on it. That's better. Oh, I need some tissue.
Oh, here we go. Show right here.
Oh, dear. You see, you just take it down a bad road.
Oh,
No one,
sorry.
including myself, wants to see that. And neither do you. Okay. It's got very awkward in here all of a sudden.
Please carry on with the show.
Please carry on with the show.
Yeah, no, my paint station's kind of falling apart.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's bled. It's bled.
Mm.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm glad I started on these first rather than leaving these till the end.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I think these would have been quite
Right,
difficult to get motivated for as the last ones to paint.
Right, I'm not ignoring you, Tom. I'm just looking up a paint guide.
Oh. Just for your brass thingies.
Yeah.
How's that looking? That's come out quite nicely, actually. Lovely.
Give this a go.
Yeah, so it needs to be black on the outside, white on there, and then... Oh, it's helmetless. No! Always wear helmets.
It's a dangerous place.
It's a dangerous place going out of your spaceship. Never know where you might get swept off to. I've got 90 models to paint. Tom with lots of gold. Yes, Vicky is painting her Black Legion, which is part of our little... She's doing a very nice job so far. Seen her Havocs. They're coming along very nicely.
Yep.
Looking forward to getting some games in October.
Brigade.
It's going to be interesting to see how the combat patrol rules play, because obviously they're just standard set lists, which I quite like the idea of personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will be interesting to see how balanced they are.
Yeah. I think I've read a little bit about certain factions.
Oh, okay.
In combat patrol. After I've committed, I already committed. I don't really care. I don't think World Eaters were amazing.
Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. I mean, I doubt I'll be able to play this system particularly well, so... On the plus side, there's such a limited amount of models.
I just worry when I come across things like tanks, how I'm going to kill a tank.
I mean, you say tank. It's I've only got a Rhino. So... Rules Lawyer says, I have 50 Black Legion to paint, all just black base coat at the moment, except for Abaddon, who is halfway done. Oh, well.
Nice.
I hate it when armies are at that stage, though. I really do. When you look at them, you're like, right, I've got to make a dent in this now.
Yeah.
Rhino can tank shock in combat patrol. Well, that is a good thing to know.
Who told you that?
Andy Ashby. So I'm inclined to believe him.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Andy, don't help him out. He's already got a tank.
I would say add one to your list, but you can't. So...
No. I've got a Juggernaut.
Hey, see, there you go. That's right.
Can a Juggernaut tank shock?
I think it's just shocking. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's in a good way or a bad way though. Rules like I need a free weekend, some TV I can just listen to but not watch. Like The West Wing is perfect for painting TV. To be fair, with regards to watching stuff or painting, I find anything that I've already watched is normally perfect for painting. Especially something I've watched and actually enjoyed, because my brain just fills the gaps in while you're painting. You don't have to worry about sort of explicitly watching every scene. Just look up for your favourite scenes now and then when you know they're going to turn up.
Hacking and slashing. Yeah, I mean, I've been watching Good Omens recently, which
The new season.
I'm enjoying. Well, rewatched the first season because we only started some of it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch the whole thing through, and yeah, I'm on the second season
Is
now.
it worth a watch?
And
Because I haven't watched any of it yet.
Okay, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Got me kind of. I've always tried Terry Pratchett, but never quite got into it.
I always agree with that.
And in all honesty, I'm still very kind of like still with him. However, I think I've clicked into it now, and I'm like, okay, this is enjoyable. Because I think a lot of his adaptations previously have been not great, but Good Omens is very good, so I would highly recommend that.
Odd enough, I found I played the adventure games when I was younger because they did Discworld, which was a very enjoyable playthrough. But yeah, I think my dad introduced me to the book Color of Magic, I think it was called, and I couldn't quite click with the reading of it. It just, but I had friends who were very the opposite. They loved all of it, but I found it quite hard to get into his style of writing, I suppose.
Yeah. It's definitely very much of its own thing.
But don't get me wrong, I'm sure he's well, obviously I know he's no longer with us, but he's a very good writer. But you know, sometimes styles don't quite gel with your reading style.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm much more of a big epic reader, I suppose, epic story reader. If I get into something like Brian Sanderson, as an example, Way of Kings was pretty cool, and the Stormlight Archives. I've been enjoying that every now and then when he releases a book like every day somehow. Minimum of 2 million pages each time. Which I don't know if you know Brian Sanderson, Dom, but as in not personally, obviously, but as a writer. But I think he did a Kickstarter the other year where he just decided to write 7 books over a summer holiday, basically. Not small ones either. You get people like George Martin who can't even get 1 book out in 3 years or whatever it is. You know? Or Patrick Rothfuss, who's trying to finish his bloody it's little mini series and can't finish the last book. You know, there's so many writers out there like that. It's interesting how different people. You know.
I think I'm quite liking this paint scheme.
Oh, you are. It's your Brazen Claws, yeah.
Brazen Beast.
Brazen Beast, sorry, not Claws. That's the Brazen Claws, the good guys.
Beast. They are good guys. These guys are cool. I'm just gonna make a bit of
Rules lawyer Neil Gaiman, who co-wrote the book, was heavily involved in the show. Has done the author's intentions conveyed clearly in a great adaptation. Yeah, I got very excited when they announced that Raymond Lee Feist, The Magician, was going to be adapted for TV, but then it got pulled at the last moment due to disagreements in how it was going to be done, which was a real shame. That's one of my all-time favourite fantasy series.
Well, the thing is, like, a lot of things just get pulled, don't they? Or just you lose all, like, you know, having to Eisenhorn and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a good point actually, because that was supposed to have been well on the way now, shouldn't it? Which is actually a real shame, because that actually, in my opinion, that's one series I think which would lend TV really well as a series. It's got a really good, I think it's got a good length to it to make a good, 10, 15 part series. But
absolutely,
as with these things, you're at the mercy of whoever's doing the scheduling and writing the checks. So
I think a lot of the Dan Abnett stuff, especially the early stuff, it's kind of so good that you can just create that universe. You don't have to rely on like the 40k IP for everything.
No.
Because they're just like, we just come up with this rubbish and hope it all works. And you're like, yeah, it does work. Well done.
Because Gaunt's Goats is a very good example. Because that's a I think that's quite an easy win, because it's quite relatable to a lot of people from a human point of view. I think putting Space Marines on the big screen, you're automatically going to lose a few people to it because some aren't going to understand it.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, exactly. I think there's only a couple of examples when the Marines turn up, both Chaos and Imperial, in the Gaunt's Ghost series. So it'd be quite nice if, it was like, oh, that's it. That's all we're doing.
It is like Sharp in space, let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You don't have to look far to see where he got his inspiration from.
No. Maybe we should get Sean Bean out the closet again to come do another quick series.
Yeah. Would Sean Bean make a good Gaunt?
I think he'd make a good older Gaunt.
Yeah.
I think it would be tough to sell him as the younger at the beginning. I mean, not super young, but not. I think the Gaunt in the beginning, I think, would be quite a tough sell because of his age. God knows who you'd cast in the other roles, but there's so many. Nowadays there's so many good actors out there. And Cavill could be doing the Eisenhorn series rules. I agree, but I don't know. I mean, he's a big custodes painter, isn't he?
I would love that though. That'd be amazing if he did, because that's the thing you want. You want that big name, like was just saying, like Sean Bean, for instance. He's not a bigger name as old Henry, but you want one big name leading it, and then you just want nobodies as all the other actors, because you don't want so many big names in there. They got all these massive egos.
Yes.
And you want it also, the budget not just to go on the names.
Budget is going to need a lot of CGI in it. Because
some more than others. Like, I don't know.
It depends on what you pick.
You got some epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the nice thing with Gaunt's Ghost, obviously, with the blood packs, that's human on human, really, in many, many cases, with some decent makeup.
Yeah.
There you go, Amazon. If you're watching, me and Dom will produce and become the directors of. We'll be blood packed. We'll be in extras. We'll be extras. It's fine. We can do it.
Well, as our battle report goes, Tom, I can do the sound effects.
Oh yes, yeah. Do you know what? They're A grade. All for his mouth. No, he wouldn't need it about any materials. So...
No. Straight in the recording studio. All very similar noises. And I may forget what noises I make for some of the things, so they would change dramatically.
Yeah, I think the consistency coordinator would have a nightmare with you. That's not the sound you made. What you do?
Yeah, it's more like this.
Hover tank number 5. It would be the Warhammer show. It's the most popular book for the fans. It is already in development. It has a cool main character who is charismatic and badass. I can't think of a better role. No, it's good. Yeah, that's Koo. Ooh, Elijah. Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone's favourite character.
Elijah Koo. I'm trying to think of someone who's
lovable.
Good at playing an arsehole, I think is the. That's a tough cast, because I don't think I'd want someone super famous. I just want someone who's got a very unlikable face.
Oh, hang on.
You're looking someone up.
I can think of someone. Oh, it's hard though, isn't it? Because as much as you, this is no disrespect to American actors. You'd almost want a full British cast, wouldn't you?
I think that would be nice. Mainly because it's all sort of stems from here, as in the UK. I think it'd be nice to sort of have that hark back to
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You'd almost want to go back. British actor that would be good as Coo. Come on, people, we could think of this.
Cillian Murphy is far to be honest, but he can play a proper bad guy as well.
Oh no. Murphy would be good as Larkin.
Okay, yeah. I've actually just brought up a little. I'm going to bring up a. You've got to put Tom Hardy in there somewhere, I reckon.
Try again, brag.
Gary Oldman as the Doctor.
No.
As Doc.
Yeah. That's a big name, though, isn't it?
I know, but
John Hurt, if he was still alive, would have been really good as the Doctor.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's already technically played him
more than once.
Yeah. I'm looking through right now. Oh God.
Hardy would be good as like McCall, I think.
Someone big and sort
McCall.
of. Yeah.
He can do a bushy beard quite well as well.
He can do a bushy beard quite well. I'm trying to remember who else is in there. It's
Rawn.
Oh yeah, it could Rawn. Someone who's got a good who could pull off a good scar on the old face.
Guys, if you're watching this back, not live, and you're listening to this, put some comments below. Who do you think would be good cast members for Gaunt's Ghost?
Timothy Chalamet is Foy Gaunt. For Gaunt. I don't know.
Milo, maybe.
Milo would work. He's got that very young face.
And for those who haven't read Gaunt's Ghosts, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, definitely start at the beginning.
It's one of the true amazing 40k series.
No. Some of these are terrible suggestions. I'm just looking at people coming up on here. It's like, no. See, I'd like to see Ed Harris in it as well somewhere.
Be part of the Blue Coats. Is it the Blue Coats or the Blue Bloods?
Blue Bloods, yeah. Blue Bloods, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You can just put different nationalities in as different
true,
regiments.
Because it actually works as well, yeah. Because
yeah, and then you've got the tank regiment as well, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
There's a tank regiment in one of them. I can't think which one it is. So you just have like different. You have the American actors there. Then you can have like the Australian, New Zealand actors as them, the British actors as.
I think you might have slot Christian Bale in there somewhere as well, I reckon. Could method out or something.
It could be the Traitor General.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
Yeah, love that, wouldn't he? Get his acting chops around that.
And you'd have to see if Christopher Lee was still alive. He'd be an awesome bad guy. A leader of a bad guy platoon or something. I think that'd be quite good.
It'd be like, you know what you did in Two Towers when you walk out on the balcony and they're all Yorikai there. You have blood pack. You walk out on the balcony.
Paul Anderson.
Just do what you did there. Who's Paul Anderson?
I'm looking it up right now.
Ooh,
Oh,
one of her
it's
mates.
that guy. Isn't he? Wasn't he in Peaky Blinders or something?
Yeah.
Arthur
He's
Shelby. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He'd be quite good. Yeah, chuck him in there. He'd do Slightly Unhinged.
We're just trying to think of decent cast members for everything now. This is turning into a little bit of a brainstorm. So hopefully, yeah, they're watching this video.
Yep. Some producer somewhere's watching it. They go, I like these guys.
They've got some
They got some
ideas.
good stuff.
Good stuff.
I tell you what, I did listen to a good audiobook, a 40k one.
Oh yeah.
Harrow Master.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a 40k Alpha Legion one. And yeah, I enjoyed it. However, in reflection, I probably would have got the book and not bothered with the audiobook because the guy doing the voice is just very annoying.
That sucks.
But the book itself would have been really good just to read it through. Yeah, unfortunately, like the thing is, he was very irritating doing the voice acting, but the story was good. Let me just put it down. Story was good. And I quite liked how the universe kind of played out because it starts off with this Alpha Legion warband attacking this Imperial planet, and then they encounter Primaris Marines for the first time, and it's like their kind of take on it, like what is all this about, like, and how they suss it out and work things, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, and how the Alpha Legion are in the 41st millennium. Because most of them, I don't know how aware you are in the Alpha Legion lore, most of them didn't go into the Eye of Terror. They just remained in the galaxy.
Yes. Because there's still a lot of questioning about them, about their loyalties, isn't there? That's the thing.
Yeah. And even within the novel, without giving too much away, there is the questioning within themselves. But because of being in the universe, a lot of them, well, like the main characters, like he's never met an original Alpha Legion Marine because they've all obviously just been killed off over time. Where the ones that have gone into the Eye of Terror, as time in the warp is different, they can come out and think it's only like 100 years maybe, but obviously these guys have been there for 10,000 years. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I've always it's the same reasons I quite enjoyed the Soul Drinker novels. I don't know if you've read them or listened to them, but
no, I know I know the ones you mean.
Yeah,
though.
but it's nice because obviously they are technically a marine company who doesn't quite turn to either side, which I quite like. Because you don't have many of those grey area moments in the 41st millennium.
No. Like a bit of having them a little bit kind of like vague of where the loyalties really are.
Rules Light says, I really like the idea of a super famous A-lister in a cameo, someone who doesn't much screen time, like an Imperial General, like Jack and Phoenix, as a colonel for the short scene. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the problem with that is,
I feel like in 1917 though. When have you seen 1917?
I have seen 1917. Yes.
Yeah, so every time it's like a different officer, and then it's a different a well-known actor as one of the officers.
Well, it was like in the Star Wars trilogies. Like so the latest Star Wars franchise. Yeah, you had people that you didn't even know because they were dressed up or covering things. People just dropping in to do because they just wanted to be a part of it. The problem is, 40k won't have that kind of pull for other actors because the subject matter is not as, I suppose, mainstream as a lot of things yet. And I think the whole purpose of what they're doing, with this whole Amazon thing, is to try and pull people that would be on the fringe of coming into the hobby / the universe, and sort of going, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought. Trying to make it, I suppose, trying to make it cool. I mean, I think it's cool anyway. I love it, but some people will look at it as, oh, it's toy soldiers. Is that what you do? You play with your toy soldiers, And unfortunately, there'll always be a bit of that. But luckily, I think both you and me are old enough to go, I don't really care what you think. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's quite, quite an interesting little setup there because, like me, I played it when I was, I suppose, just coming out of college for a bit, and then I stopped for a good 5, 6 years, I think, and then picked it back up again. And it was for kind of those reasons
yeah.
as well, because it just, as much as I was, I played a lot of computer games. I was a very geeky person, um, but it didn't quite go extend to that far. But I know you. I mean, you obviously. I think you didn't really take a break from playing it an awful lot. So
It's that thing where you kind of just flip between hobbies,
yeah.
though. Like, took a big break of that, and then, for instance, airsoft,
Mm.
kind of dabble now and again in it. At some point, might get back into it a bit more. But yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? You kind of bounce between things. Don't have to be carry on doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, no, Vin Diesel does collect. I think there are other actors as well, especially a lot of D&D players and stuff. So I think he becomes more mainstream. People become more confident, and I think maybe the way we look at it ourselves kind of also mirrors what people think of it.
Mm.
So if you become more confident and go, actually, no, it's a creative hobby kind of thing, people go, oh, cool, not just playing with toy soldiers. But if you champion it yourself, hopefully that rubs off on other people.
100%. No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, Vicky, who obviously is my wife, she didn't really play it before she met me, and she sort of started doing bits and pieces with me, and then suddenly it sort of rubbed off, and she's carried on painting and playing games as well. So I think it can happen quite easily, just depending on if you can get someone sort of give it a go a few times, and also to if you can embrace that, I suppose the whole hobby as opposed to just one part of it. I think it helps a hell of a lot. You know, playing's just one aspect of it, but if you can get into the whole lore and the painting, the gaming, all of it, I think it's actually quite a rewarding hobby as well because there's so many
Yeah,
facets to it, and it is something you can kind of pick up for a bit, put back down for a bit, and come back to it as long as long as you don't leave too long between sessions. But it's not something you need to be constantly engaged with.
absolutely. It's like that army that you had 20 years ago might not be up in the meta at the moment. Might be, who knows?
I mean,
However, it's still usable. It's most of it is probably still usable in
yeah,
one way or another. You can probably use it in a tournament, or you can just use it against your mates because there probably are still rules for most of it. Like 99.9% of
yeah,
the
just
time
looks
there'll be
different.
rules for it. Where, like for instance, gaming probably slightly different, or other hobbies it changes. But I think
Yeah,
if you've got the hot models, you've got the models,
this is very true. This is
and it's
very
all
true.
lots of fun.
So yeah, keep playing.
Yeah,
Never grow
or
up.
else. Yeah, never surrender.
Never grow up. Never surrender.
Okay, Mister or Mrs.
Right, I'm gonna let these dry. I think. I'll get these finished in a week or so. I reckon. Maybe I'll bring Sister Battle to the tournament.
Well, Tom, I thought you were bringing Sisters of Battle to the tournament.
Maybe I am. Eh?
I think between us, you could bring us Sisters of Battle list anyway.
We probably could. I mean, it would look really haphazard, but why are you guys wearing green and why are you guys wearing red? There wasn't enough of us.
Don't discriminate.
Don't discriminate. So yeah. Also, for all who's watching, make sure if you are participating in the monthly painting challenge that is due in next week. Now, I do have a slight issue with next week.
Go on.
It is actually mine and Vicky's wedding anniversary on the Tuesday.
All right. Well,
So I think
you
maybe
could
we
always
do a
meet Vicky afterwards.
You can always meet Vicky afterwards. You hear that, Vicky? So all I was going
You
to
won't
propose is we
mind.
maybe move the day.
Oh, right. Okay. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think we should move the day or keep the day exactly the same? And Tom just needs to stand up to his wife. Put it in the chat
She's
below.
in the
What do you
chat.
think should happen? So option A, Tom grows a pair and
You wait till next time, all right?
tells
You
Vicky
have
what
something come up.
tells Vicky what to do on their wedding anniversary. There you go. Rules law's already Or B, Tom disappoints everyone bar one person.
What kind of excuse is that? You hear this, Vicky?
Vicky's gonna go option A in a minute.
She'll just come and hit me in a minute, probably. I'll give this option to your wife. I've already said.
Oh God.
I've already said what I'm doing. They're trying to bend the truth. But yes, may have to move the day. That was all.
Okay, Tom. We'll talk about moving the day later on. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But
No
I hope all of
problem.
you are progressing well with your models, and I would like. I hope I haven't seen an awful lot of progress shots, but I've seen there is stuff going on. That's quite fun because obviously the stream's running a bit behind. I would have saw you winking on the other screen from the minicast.
You give it a wink.
I don't think me and you are participating this month, though, are we?
No, we're not. No.
No.
We're gonna give these guys a chance.
Yeah. Don't want to become too efficient at our own jobs.
Yeah.
Professional painters that we are, you know.
I don't know why these world eaters insist in not wearing full sets of armor. It's very frustrating.
Isn't it because their muscles get so big they can't be contained in armor?
Look. Can't even say it. I know that's your defense at the court about your whole trousers problem.
My calves are so big.
But it's not their excuse.
I can't get my legs.
Lazy, Tom.
I can't get my legs through over the calves. So just...
Yeah. You know, world eaters in their muscly muscles.
I think just maybe they're just angry. They just don't stay long enough to get the armor put on.
Yeah, maybe that is the case. Maybe they've killed their.
Yeah, well, imagine the servitor working for the world eaters. It'd be terrifying, regardless of whether you're a servant of the Chaos Gods.
Oh, there wouldn't be anything left of it, Tom. No. It'd just be bits.
Do you reckon going like in a world eaters kind of thing? It's just like, oh, please don't hit me! Please don't hit me! It's just literally, it's just that being said all the time.
Yeah. I don't know how you'd even try. It's just.
That's what I find so funny about their law is that, you know, there's no way they could function as a fighting unit. Not even for the point of the fighting part. Fine, I accept. Yes, they'll be very good fighters, but getting them where they need to be, or even leaving a planet, I don't understand.
Yeah.
How you corral? It's like you had to.
No way, is there?
No, it's like you had to keep like some live bait back at the drop site and sort of drop things in. Say, look, they're in here. Get them. Get them.
No way you could, like, you know, even if they had drop ships, they'd be like, there's no way we're getting them back. Like, they're gone.
Yeah, bad as like, who are we lending these to? Oh, the worldie. I mean, no.
Which ones aren't looking too good at the moment?
Yes, we'll give them the scrap ones. Do you have anything orc made that we can lend?
Blooming world eaters. Liabilities.
So it only kind of leads you to the whole thing that they must have some lucid moments where they have a bit of clarity and control. Because obviously, when you hear them portrayed in books, they're always like growling and go, "Oh, I'm very angry." Oh, but they must have some level of control, otherwise things wouldn't happen. But their law kind of contradicts that they can't have that because they're constantly being butcher nailed up.
There's one there's one audiobook I've listened to where there's like a couple of World Eater commanders trying to get Khan. It's a bit like in Troy when they're trying to get Achilles to do stuff, and they're in this arena and they're like, "Look, if you beat our champion, we'll submit to you," kind of thing. And the commanders are kind of with it still. Obviously, Khan isn't. You hear like what's going on in Khan's head, and Khan's essentially killed everyone. Everyone's dead.
I'm gonna chop some people up. Rules law. I just said interesting thing. Do you know the original Red Butcher's law? They remotely deactivate the Terminator armor and imprison them in the armor and lock them up between battles. But who's doing that?
Yeah, who's deactivating?
Who is deactivating it? I can't believe they have like a willing support crew going, "Oh yeah, I'm going to work for these guys. They look well unhinged. Just the kind of people I want to hang about with."
Because even in the Heresy, you had like what was the name of the woman? The
Lortan.
Captain of
Lortan?
No,
not
the captain of the Conqueror.
Yes,
and they're all kind of like, "Oh, she's a bit. Oh, yeah, she can stand up to them." That was like during the Heresy. Like these guys have gone a long way from the Heresy. And she was kind of backed up by Angron and Khan, so it was like, "No, woof."
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly. No, it's Lotara Sarin. That was it.
That's it.
I got slightly the wrong way around. But rules are obviously. I know that for the whole story thing, it happens. But I have this issue of sort of imagining how they're getting from A to B for starters. I mean, that's quite a big thing, and also, put them in a ship with people to get them where they're going as well. Having people that are willing to go down and go, "Yeah, I'll go collect the World Eaters." They're just a simple get them in the back of the truck. Yeah,
I think the worst job that you're going to have on the World Eater ship as a mortal. I mean, there are no good jobs here at all. I think the worst job is the guy that at the end of the arming up process, imagining it goes well, like it's gone really well, then has to hand the World Eater a chain axe.
It's going to be like,
"I've warmed it up for you, sire. Here you go.
Just take the axe, not my arm. Take the axe, not my arm."
Yeah, exactly.
To snatch it with such force, the arm goes,
yeah.
You keep that. I'll get you another armourer, sir.
Yeah, oops. That just popped off.
Because I know we sometimes have these discussions about being servitors on different marine ships, but honestly, World Eaters is just. We got to say it. Rules. I imagine they are like a Krugar and his men in the Storm of Iron. He's lucid when not in combat, and corralled by others when necessary. The Warsmith keeps them in line. I mean, there's probably are some people that can do. It's just when you read about them, it's just a really odd set of circumstances. Obviously there's not supposed to be a lot of them left either because they got so scattered and broken apart after everything. I mean,
for instance, like the these guys, the old Brazen Beasts, they aren't originally World Eaters. So they were a Space Marine chapter that turned Renegade. And so they kind of adorn their armor World Eater style. So they are still kind of like there in some shape or form.
But they don't have butcher's nails, which is the key part.
No, they do.
They do. Oh, they put them in.
What happens is Abaddon has got himself a load of surgeons and he thought, well, these berserkers are amazing, and he just kind of makes up berserkers himself. So that, like, if you see them in Black Legion armor, they're probably not world eaters. They're just unlucky or really lucky people that have just gone.
I love Abaddon's brain as well in that situation. It's like, oh, do you know what we need?
Yeah, this works.
I
really
need some
well.
people I can't control.
Yeah. So there you go. There's still berserkers being made.
Interesting.
And probably lots of world eaters still.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they're just more scattered, weren't they? Because they didn't have any semblance of order. You know, because it's just gone.
For the reasons that we've
anyway,
been
I love it as a story. I love it as a kind of element of the 40k madness. It's great because it's like no other world could you have that kind of happen and still function somehow around. You know, there's ways.
Don't question it. It just happens.
Yeah, exactly. I know that's exactly it. But I like that's what I like about it because it's like you get to sort of look at these guys like these guys are just mental. There's literally there is no way.
No.
But then obviously they are portrayed in books now. Then because I think there was one in Gaunt's Ghost actually, wasn't there? There was a world eater.
Yeah, one of the early ones.
Yeah.
There was a group of world eaters ambushing a pack of basilisks. Or
I think that's right.
Chimeras, I think.
I think that was on the planet with that. Oh Christ, STC on it, or whatever it was. With the robots on it, which they had, because I think he was sort of, but yeah, I seem to recall. But yeah, it's just, I love that. It's because obviously you got the Blood Angels and the Flesh Tearers, which are very controlled but similar in nature, I suppose. If they lose themselves to the thirst, very vampire-y, obviously. They can, obviously, when you read the prehistory to the Blood Angels as well, they were doing some funky things to their populace.
Well, the thing is, as well, with the berserkers, I think world eaters in general, it's that constant need to do it. It's not like Blood Angels or other chapters or legions where they can get carried away. Like Flesh Tearers are pretty angry all the time.
Yeah,
but
it's controlled.
world eaters have got this need. There's no peace unless they're doing something very violent. And that doesn't work. How does that work on a ship?
But maybe it's not just being violent. Maybe they've got the message confused. Maybe it's just doing something. So if you gave them like an accounting job.
Imagine how angry they'd get. Have you filed your tax return?
Put the axe down. Put the axe down.
Yeah. God.
The best enforcers ever. Police brutality.
They love it.
But yeah, it's right. It was just ludicrous of it, but I love it. It's just it makes me laugh, and at the same time, it's just so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like you take Thousand Suns, and you technically got things with no bodies walking around. It's just dust on the inside. You're like, what?
Yeah. What's happening? How's this going on? Don't question it. It just is.
It just is.
It's a thing.
And I love the mutation style things which happen to the armor when you get the possessed, that kind of thing. That's cool. It's just got some really cool little hooks for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, there we go. Are we feeling done for tonight?
I believe so. So, guys, thank you very much for watching
Indeed.
tonight. I'm going to go and spray some stuff with this. It will not hint towards what army I'm going to be playing at the tournament.
Lead belcher.
Yeah.
Must be some marine army.
Very nice. Cool. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. Sorry it's been so long. So I am Dom, and the guy next to me is...
I'm Tom. Yes.
And we are Black Studios.
We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Well.